Any additions or deletions to the agenda?
No, sir.
No, sir.
Do I have a motion to approve minutes for January 12th?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Item 1, we'll move into action agenda, salary study recommendations and implementations. I think we're bringing Christy up. And Jason, did you have any remarks on that also?
I'll turn it over to Christy.
Thank you, Christy.
Good evening, Commissioners. A work session was held on Thursday, January 12, 2023, to review and discuss the preliminary results of the compensation and classification study as prepared by Evergreen Solutions, LLC. The discussion included the current state of Allegany County compensation program, market results for comparable employers, as well as recommendations from the study. The recommendations include an updated pay plan for classified service, with pay adjustments ranging from 5 to 15% for non-union county employees. Union groups were recommended to maintain their current pay structure with an overall market adjustment for each union. We are in the process of communicating with each union in order to move toward adoption of the recommendations as presented by Evergreen Solutions. The cost of implementing all recommendations as set through the study is approximately $1 million for the current year. Should this be approved this evening, each employee will receive an individualized letter from Evergreen Solutions communicating their personal pay adjustment. Our plan would be to perform final calculations and entry of any adjustments to implement as soon as possible, ideally the final pay in February of this year. It is very important that we strive to retain great dedicated county employees, as well as recruit qualified talent going forward. In consideration of this, as well as the findings of the Evergreen Compensation and Classification Study, we are requesting your approval to fully adopt the Evergreen Compensation and Classification Study recommendations per the work session on January 12th. Evergreen is making final revisions to the final report, which will be received within the next few days. Thank you for your consideration, and at this point, we'd like to ask for your approval on the overall recommendations of the study.
Thank you, Christy. And I know you and a lot of the other staff have had a lot of work on this, particularly this and the upcoming item as well. So we thank you for your work and consideration on this. Is there any questions or discussions?
Sir, part of what drove this, and Jason, I hope he'll elaborate just in a couple of seconds, is we went 6 years with nothing. The county didn't do anything, and now it's playing catch up. This ain't something that's jumping out, or it's I'm just trying to think of the right word here for it. It's something that was missed prior to, and now we're losing employees to
Correct.
everybody. Every department head we've talked to has a list of people we've lost in the last year, and
That's correct.
to various other companies. And I just feel it's something we have to do.
Yeah, and Commissioner, you hit on it. You know, back in 2008, 2009, we all went through that recession at that time. County employees went 8 years without raises. So those employees that are still here from that time went 8 straight years with a stagnant salary. Now it's kind of caught us a little bit, quite honestly. So this would be an adjustment to get them back kind of where they belong. And as we work through the study, Christy will tell you, it became pretty obvious. The biggest adjustments they were recommending were for those employees who were kind of stuck in that middle zone, who you could see were stagnant for a long time. So this will fix a lot of that. This will fix, let's see, Dan Lasher sitting there. He's had person after person at the detention center leave. This is going to alleviate some of the problems he's been seeing. Same for the sheriff.
Commissioners, just for a point of legal clarification, with the county employees, classified employees, you all are, the motion on the table was to take action to directly adjust their pay. With regard to each of our collective bargaining units, you'd be authorizing me to make offers to those bargaining units. We'd still have to have some contractual work done on the back end, but you'd be authorizing my office to make offers consistent with the salary study recommendations for those bargaining units.
They would have to accept, obviously, the recommendation. Sure.
Correct.
Well, sir, with that being said, I'll make the motion.
Do I have a second?
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you, Commissioners.
Thank you, Christy. And that takes us to item 2, retirement incentive authorization.
Yes.
Please, thank you.
Thank you. Also discussed during the January 12th work session was the recommendation of offering a retirement incentive in order to help offset the implementation cost of the compensation and classification study. We have prepared a memo to go to all county employees from County Administrator Bennett outlining the details of the retirement incentive program. This incentive would provide $20,000 for 30 years of service, $17,500 for 25 years of service, $15,000 for 10 years of service, and $12,500 for 5 years of service. In addition, each approved applicant will receive an additional $1,000 per year of service. Applications would be accepted through March 31st of 2023, with the retirement effective date no later than June 1st of 2023. In order to receive the incentive, the applicant must be eligible to retire as determined by Maryland's state retirement and pension system. Our calculations indicate that we have roughly 85 employees currently eligible for either a normal service retirement or an early service retirement. While we do not know how many employees may take advantage of this retirement incentive program, from prior offerings, we are estimating that we may have 20 to 30 employees apply. In addition to our Department of Human Resources being available to assist with questions, we also plan to hold a retirement seminar around late February or early March as an additional resource for employees interested in gaining more information about their benefits. This evening, we are requesting approval of the contents of the retirement incentive memo dated January 23rd, 2023 from Administrator Bennett in order for this memo to be communicated to county employees and to begin offering this program immediately.
Very good. And again, that's sort of worked hand in hand, coming along with the salary study to sort of compensate for some of those changes as well. Any discussion, questions, gentlemen?
No, sir.
No, sir.
Do I have a motion to approve?
Motion to approve.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you very much, Commissioners.
Christie, thank you for everything.
You're welcome.
That'll take us to our consent agenda. Get back up here.
Oh,
Somebody come in to sign up.
Administrator Bennett.
Thank you, Commissioners. Just 5 items today on the consent agenda. Item 3, Allegheny County Department of Public Works American Rescue Plan funding. This would be to approve $161,500 from ARPA funds to be used for the purchase of 3 used mini excavators from Grantsville Equipment Company in Grantsville, Maryland. And these will be utilized by our Public Works Roads Division. Item 4, Maryland Heritage Areas Authority fiscal year 23 marketing grant agreement in the amount of $22,085, authorizing the county administrator to sign the agreement to support Allegheny County tourism. Item 5, community promotions, authorize $1,000 from our community promotions fund to the Cumberland Scottish Rite Foundation in support of the 2023 Robert Burns Night to raise money for Right Care, early childhood speech and language disorders clinics in Western Maryland. Item 6, Allegheny County Commission for Women Board appointment, appointing Victoria J. Hoverman to the term, to the Allegheny County Commission for Women with a term to expire July 1, 2025. And finally, item 7, extension of notice of interim trail use agreement to file a 1-year extension with the Surface Transportation Board, and this would be for the Georges Creek rail line.
Very good. Any discussion, gentlemen?
no, sir.
No, sir.
Do I have any items withheld?
No,
No,
sir.
sir.
I have a motion to approve the consent agenda.
So moved.
Second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. That takes us to public comment. We have 2 people signed up this evening. Mr. Scherer, is it? Yes, sir. Thank you.
What do you need from me? Do you let me know your name and address? Richard Shearer, 13814 Marshall Porter Road, Southwest LaVale, Maryland, 21502. I addressed the commission this evening. I was here on the 6th of October, 2022. I voiced my concerns and questions about illegal activities and damages to property by Mr. David Porter on Marshall Porter Road in LaVale, Maryland. I also voiced my concerns about damage being unknowingly done by my neighbors, the Parkers. I was told these activities and damages would be addressed in a reasonable time frame. I'm sorry to say that the commission and I do not define reasonable time frame in the same fashion. It has been well over 3 months for the commission to address these concerns. I do not feel this is in any way reasonable, since most of these concerns were brought to the attention of the Code Enforcement Division well over 2 years ago. With that being said, I am formally and respectfully asking for these concerns to be given to, answers to these concerns to be given to me by February 10th, 2023, preferably by mail and in writing. And with that being said, I thank the commission for their time this evening.
Thank you, Mr. Sherrill.
And Mr. Chair, I'll just add, you and I have communicated by email a few times over that time, and we're certainly working on it. We've met at the staff level twice over your concerns, and there was quite a few. So we're still kind of working through it, and we will get a response back to you.
I would appreciate that.
Thank you. Mr. Llewellyn? If you could state your name and address, please. Thank you.
I am Don Llewellyn. Well, good evening, folks. You know, when I was a young man, I can remember
Thank
cruising
you.
the Baltimore Street area in my 1965 baby blue Chevy Impala, looking at the beautiful architecture of the area and checking out the hot chicks running up and down the streets. I'm sure you can all sympathize with that. But those days are gone. Things change. I'm the Secretary-Treasurer for the Embassy Theater. I'm here with my cohort, Gerard Puckett, to discuss the plans for the Baltimore Street renovation and its impact on our theater, at least our perceived impact on our theater. Let me start by saying that we are the busiest entertainment venue in the tri-state area. We perform 8 major theatrical shows in our yearly season, with many smaller events interspersed amongst those major shows. This past year, we were honored by Baltimore's Broadway World Regional Awards for 2022, where we placed in 17 of the total 19 categories, and that's quite an accomplishment. As I say, things change. The renovation of Baltimore Street is going to have a negative impact on our ticket sales and cafe sales. Other businesses have back doors opening up to Merchant Alley or wherever, and can admit customers through those access points. We have back doors too, but it's behind our stage. And there's a set of steep stairs that comes up from those back doors and crosses the stage. We cannot admit patrons through those doors. They would have to come through the set area where there's actors getting dressed, props being moved around. We can't access that area. So we've been assured that steel plates and or wooden platforms would be contrived over ditches or whatever to gain access to our front doors, so we can continue to promote our season, which we are continuing to do. But that does not bode well for those that have a walking disability or motorized wheelchairs or small children. Those things just don't work. So no matter how you cut it, we're going to lose business on this effort. We understand it's going to be an improvement to the city, but this right after a painfully long shutdown from COVID-19, during which indoor entertainment facilities were completely shut down for over 8 months. Our theater was kept closed and no other business could open either. If it hadn't been for several recovery grants from Maryland State Arts Council, Allegany Arts Council, and others, and a loan from the Small Business Administration, we'd have been bankrupt. We wouldn't have been able to pay our bills because we had no income coming in. For the past year, we've been trying to rebuild our very nervous patron population that usually attend our theater events. Our last year's income from ticket sales and cafe sales totaled $32,315 for the year. That's for 8 major shows. We expect as much as a 40% reduction in that income because of this construction, which I understand is supposed to take approximately 6 months. We respectfully request some kind of reimbursement of maybe $12,000, a 40% reduction to cover those losses. Thank you for your time and consideration.
Thank you, sir. We would have to consult with the city. I don't know exactly their details going forward of, how this is going to be rolled out. That might be something you want to speak to them a little bit more. If there are ways that we can help during this time, I know that it's going to be a lot on the downtown business owners, but I really think they're trying to be as accommodating as possible. And you can say it's going to be 40%, but will we know that until it occurs? Sir, I mean, what if it's a lot less? What if it's more? I mean, like I said, it's just something that we don't know at this time.
Well, we're guessing at this point.
Yes, sir.
We have no other recourse. I mean, we can't have access to our backlogs, period. That's all.
Mr. Llewellyn, have you spoken to anyone at the city yet?
Yes, sir. We're constantly in contact with
Okay.
the city. The city's been very good to us over the years. And that's who is being assuring us that we'll at least have some sort of access to the front door, as crude as it might be. They'll be able to get into the front doors. We're hoping that that really takes place the way that they're assuring us to do.
All right. Well, maybe we could reach out to them. Like I said, if there's ways that we can help that process and make it as easy as possible for everyone, maybe those numbers won't be anywhere near close to what you're projecting, and I hope they're not.
The only thing I can say in conclusion is we worked very hard to get that Broadway award. Our performers, our directors, our actors, they're all worked very hard to get those kind of awards and to work at the volume of business that we do here. So we're trying to find some way to stay open.
I understand.
And just, sir, any help would be appreciated.
I understand.
Absolutely.
We'll take a look at it, gentlemen. Thank you for coming tonight. Any final thoughts this evening? Attorney Beeman?
Nothing further. Thank
Nothing
you.
to add? Administrator Bennett?
Just one thing, just on behalf of all the employees, just to thank you guys for your support tonight with the salary study and the retirement incentive. There's a lot of people and a lot of department heads here tonight who came just for this reason. It helps support the staff. It's probably long overdue in some cases, and we thank you for it.
Commissioner Atkinson?
Nothing.
Nothing to add, all quiet? I know you'll have something, Commissioner Brody. Anything?
Sir, absolutely.
Go right ahead, sir.
Well, last week, we all attended PACE. It was fantastic. We was well received in Annapolis. We happened to be there while the new governor was being sworn in, so I actually got to get down and watch that from a distance. It was quite a full town. But the big reason that I go to PACE every year is for our projects, our infrastructure projects. That's the nuts and bolts of what county government should do. It should provide services that the people as a whole can't afford. Roads, water, sewer, other things, infrastructure is what it's all about. And I think, thanks to Adam, he always puts on a great presentation. He had the county there, he had every municipality was well represented. I think we did good. There's some new players involved, but overall, everything went, I feel, off without a hitch. And another thing, I want to change gears here a little bit, and this will involve Adam and Lee and Jason both, is I believe our race promoters at Cumberland Racetrack is defunct. I would like to see if we have any interest in anyone racing there this year, if we do a little RFP and put it out. I'm getting asked a good bit. The county will not be a race promoter. I don't ever see that happening. If we was going to promote that, we would be promoters of everything. But if there is some citizens out there that's interested in this, we'll get something together and we'll get something wrote up and put a timeline out there, and by all means, please go after it. And we got some very important people in the audience with us tonight. We got James Elliott, our state's attorney, our newly elected Sheriff Craig Robertson, and his wife. So it's glad to see you guys here this evening. So.
I just wanted to echo Creed's sentiment. We did have some very good meetings at PACE. A lot of our projects have been, well received. And some of the new faces have been very receptive to us, and hopefully they'll remember us out here and continue to remember us in Western Maryland. So our next meeting will be Thursday, February, is that a 6th? 9th? Okay, 5 p.m. Thank you. Yeah, we'll get those next time. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Very good.